Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hometown Television's coverage of Class 4A Sectional 8 championship game here at Noblesville High School, The Mill. Craig Atkins alongside Brad Silbert and Perry Williams. David Will on the cameras. Jim Wofford, our producer this evening. We welcome you to our broadcast, and it comes down to this in Sectional 8. And we've got quite a matchup tonight, fellas. Can't really look at this on paper because Fisher's not playing like a 12-12 team.
Oh, not at all.
Fisher's is definitely the best 12-12 team in the state of Indiana, and Carmel definitely the best 16-8 team in the state of Indiana. And both of these teams got where they are at tonight because they both played excellent games. The only scare that Fisher's had was opening night when they came out against the Westfield Shamrocks. Perry and Greg, they came out slow, almost dead, and it took them the first, 15 minutes of the game to really get on track, and it was right there at the end of the half that they just got a little spark of life into them, and they came back and ended up winning that game to advance to the game last night against Guerin.
Absolutely. Let's run through our sponsors here real quick. Let's run through our sponsors here. Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Anthem, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Mark Hairbrandt, Commissioner, Wolfie's Grill, and Peterson Architecture. You know, the one thing about it, guys, we couldn't do what we're doing here tonight if it wasn't for our great sponsors.
No doubt about it. Great people. Great product tonight. I mean, we couldn't, it's one of those things where this is I think this is going to be a pretty good matchup tonight. I think the key to the game, especially for the Fishers Tigers, is they are going to need to come out and they are going to have to play 32 minutes of intense basketball. If they end up getting behind like they got behind Westfield the other night in the opening game, that could be big trouble for them. And also, they scored 82 points last night, and I would not be surprised if the final winning margin is not only close, but I would just be surprised if it was out of the 50s. Just the way that Carmel has a tendency to take and set the pace, set the pace for the game. The other thing, and I think both of you will agree with this, for Fishers, their starters accounted for almost every point that went on the board last night. Eaton had 11, Dollison had 29, Willie Jackson with 11, and Cameron Walter with 24 points. So they've got a lot of players on the bench, but they're not getting much production out of that. Whereas on the other side, with Carmel, they've got a very diverse bench, and they got a lot of extra scoring out of there. And in the Carmel-Hamilton Southeastern game last night, one of the differences and one of the reasons the game ended up being so close all along was foul shooting. The Royals did well with foul shooting. Carmel had a really, really rough time especially in the opening half, hitting free throws. In fact, I think at one time they were shooting less than 50%. So those are huge factors.
A lot of great matchups throughout the state. We'll try and get to those before we have the national anthem here at Noblesville. Focus on the northern half of the state because that's where this Sectional 8 is being played, obviously. At East Chicago Central, Lowell is playing the host East Chicago Central Cardinals. At Crown Point, it's Valpo playing the host Crown Point Bulldogs. Up at Plymouth at Jack Edison Court. We'll talk about this. I believe we're going to have another talented Noblesville student, as we've had all week so far, singing the national anthem. Noblesville sophomore Lexi Burgess. Another great rendition of our Star Spangled Banner by Noblesville sophomore Lexi Burgess. Wow, some of these girls have some great pipes at their high school ages. Like those American Idol or The Voice contestants. Elsewhere throughout the state, we've got at Plymouth, it's South Bend Riley and Plymouth tangling. And one of my favorite spots at Elkhart, it's Warsaw versus the host Elkhart Central Blue Blazers. At the Cal, which will feed into the Logansport Regional, which this winner will meet up against at some point next weekend. Fort Wayne Carroll meets up with Fort Wayne North. Sectional 6 at Huntington North. Muncie Central meets up with Homestead. Muncie Central with a 110-104 win over Fort Wayne Southside, who's got some sharp shooters last night. That was in regulation, mind you, folks. Sectional 7 at Logansport. The Zionsville Eagles play McCutcheon for sectional title.
And that is the one that we're probably going to be watching the closest here tonight, Craig, because whoever wins this game tonight will be playing that Sectional 7 winner at noon next Saturday at Logansport. How many years, is this the first year we've gone back to Logansport for regional? Because it seems to me in the past that they were normally at Marion.
Yeah, you're right.
I think so.
I think you're right.
Last year was at Marion.
The interesting thing about it is, too, with Zionsville and McCutcheon, they have that Hoosier Crossroad Conference ties.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of interesting.
Also wish good luck out to, and no one thought they would be there down in Sectional 12 at Terre Haute South, facing the host Terre Haute South Braves. The Avon Orioles at 8-17, playing for a sectional title down there. So good luck to them, and it's a battle for Franklin down at Martinsville. They got to travel to Martinsville to play
each other,
another big one down at Southport in Sectional 11, Southport and Ben Davis. And probably the biggest one getting attention all over the state, Lawrence Central versus North Central in Sectional 10 over at Arsenal Tech High School. That'll be on IHSAATV.org. Our friends at IHSAATV.org, the IHSAA Champions Network. Sectional 14 down at East Central, Bloomington South and Shelbyville. Sectional 15 at Seymour, it's New Albany and Jeffersonville.
Well, we do have somebody at Arsenal Tech tonight who's going to be sending us scores. So we'll keep you up on what's happening on that one. So it ought to be an interesting night of sectional championship basketball.
Kyle Guy versus Chris Wilkes down there at Arsenal Tech. Sectional 16 is at Evansville North. Evansville North versus Castle down there.
You know, the interesting thing in the game at Tech, you could see there tonight, possibly this year's Mr. Basketball and next year's Mr. Basketball.
No doubt about it.
In Wilkes.
No doubt about it. No. Well, for the Fishers Tigers, this is an attempt for them to get back to win another sectional. The last time they won a sectional was back in the 20s or 30s. I had the date, but I forgot
the right. It was 1921. I saw that this morning.
1921. Wow. And, of course, none of us, I don't think any of us were around at that point. I know I wasn't.
Definitely
But Joe Leonard, who has been with this program since Fishers came back alive, it was J.R. Schelt there for a year or two, and Joe was one of his assistants, and Joe took over when J.R. moved down to Lawrence Central, and they are in the hunt for the first sectional crown in many, many years.
Yeah, to age myself and J.R. Schelt a little bit, when I was a young kid, J.R. Schelt played basketball at Elkhart Central. So year in and year out, saw J.R. Schelt play varsity basketball. He was pretty good.
His daughter played on the Lawrence Central varsity team the last couple of years, so we got to see J.R. now and then since I can't remember what position he's in at Lawrence Central now, but he gave up the coaching duties. He's some kind of an administrator.
So it was a position he couldn't pass up.
Yeah, and so it was quite it was quite nice to see JR sitting there in the audience to be able to watch his daughter play. But he is the one who started this program back in 2004, 2005 with.
As PI announcer Kevin Cole is giving you the starting lineup, we'll give them to you as well. Fishers will go with number 10, Zach Eaton at one guard. Number 20, Willie Jackson at the other guard. Kind of a swing player playing the three is number 12, Lance Dollison. One forward is number 35, Caleb Wrights. And the other forward, 44, Cameron Walter. Walter, tremendous ball game last night. Even better game last night was Lance Donaldson with 29 points. Unofficially, I had 26 for Walter, but I may be off too. Hub may be up or down too. I'm not sure which. Keeping stats, it's hard to keep track of it all. For the Carmel Greyhounds, they will be going with a 3-guard lineup in number 10, Sterling Brown, number 21, Alex Fallender, 24, Garrett Covington, 31, Preston Flamion, and 42, Trenton Richardson. I almost want to call him Trent Richardson, but that's, like we said, the former Colton Raiders running back. And I don't know if it seems like it to you guys as well, but I think we only have 5 officials that are working this tournament. I think they all get 3 games apiece, or I'm not sure what the deal is, but these guys have seen a lot of basketball in this court this week.
Well, when I was here earlier this week, the 3 who are out there, I think they did either a Tuesday night or Wednesday night game as a crew. So they have worked together before, and of course the 3-man crews, that coordination among the 3-man crews, the way the game has changed so much over the years, the 2-man crew just can hardly keep up with it at all.
And it has nothing to do with the officials not being in the best shape. I mean,
right.
But it's the fact that the game's so much quicker and they need to see so much more on each angle of the court. And great move when they did make that move.
I think you hit the key right there when you said it's so much quicker there, Craig. And looking out over at the arena tonight here at the Mill, over directly across from us is the Fisher student section. Pretty well all filled up with red shirts, and over on the other side here, directly in front of us, but down at the other end, the Carmel Greyhound student section is there, and they're all wearing white shirts tonight. Both teams seem to have a pretty good following here. I would guess, I think Fisher's has probably got a few more fans here tonight than Carmel does, and I think we probably, I don't think we got 3,000 in here yet, but we may have about 2,500.
Last night's crowd definitely was a better crowd as Fishers wins the opening tip. As Dollison out-tipped Trenton Richardson, and we are underway. Jackson going right side to Dollison. Now looking up top, Wrights goes left side. Jackson looking for Dollison, no. Now it's Eaton up top. Walter has it from Eaton, up off the glass, got it. Taking off where he left from last night. Walter having a great sectional tournament, and so is Eaton.
That's a good sign for the Tigers that they were able to get inside and get an easy 4-foot jumper.
Well, like the one thing Perry and I talked about when I got here this evening, we weren't sure if Fishers was going to, if they had run out of gas after last night, or if they were going to keep the same intensity and level. And it looks like, they're right there. Richardson up off the glass and in. We're knotted up at 2.
Both of the field goals are early going here, both running right from under the basket.
Almost not used to seeing the big men get attention like they have this week. A lot of guard plays taking over every level of basketball. Dollison's got it, fades away on one. Off the mark, Covington skies for the board. Preston Flamion. Now to Covington, back to Preston. Trying to find room, but clogging the lane was Walter. Whoever does advance out of this ball game obviously has a tough, tall task. And neither Zionsville or McCutcheon, and skying for another rebound is Walter. Should be one heck of a regional field. One heck of a regional field at Logansport next week for sure. Fallender all over Eaton. Now it's Jackson. Drives baseline. Oh, extra step and he walks. That hop step may work a couple levels up, but not here.
I think Richardson just got in front of him enough that it threw him off balance, and that's what's caused the travel.
2-2, we're 2 minutes into the ball game. Now it's Fallender, going right side. Covington Gets it deep left to Sterling Brown. Brown looks down low. Ball deflected away by Walter. And back up the court. Dollison. Walter thought about a three. Spins in. Fades.
Nice move. Beautiful move by Cameron Walter there.
And Walter has both buckets for the Tigers. We're at 4-2 Fishers. Covington drives in. Short rebound by Jackson. Up the court he goes quickly. Walter up.
Trying to draw the charge.
Basket's good. I thought we were going to get a charge called as well because it looked like his leg went into him.
I was watching the referee out to the left side of your picture, and I thought for sure he was going to put the charge up there, but it looked like that leg was still moving. So Walter gets another field goal, plus a chance to make it a 3-point play and make it a 5-point lead if he can make this.
It's tough when you're trying to A, draw the charge. You B, have to make sure you keep your focus on making the bucket if they call the block. That's what Cameron Walter did. He's got all 7 points here for Fishers. It's 7-2 Tigers over the Greyhounds. 3 minutes in. Britt Beery in there now, number 44. Gets the pass from Brown, and no. Is that over the back on Beery? They're going to do it.
Yeah, Beery went right over the back of big number 12, Lance Dollison. I was talking to Joe Leonard before the game, and there seems to be quite a bit of interest in Dollison. He's got some Division II schools looking at him. Grand Valley out of Ohio, Jacksonville over in Illinois, Central State. In fact, he said Grand Valley was here watching him last night.
Yeah, he seems like that kind of player that flies under the radar, but then he has games like where he scores 29 like he did last night. Walter. 16-footer, no. Covington the board.
Nice rebound there by Covington.
He's been a huge asset now for 12. Check that. This is his 13th game with the Carmel Greyhound.
Looks like that one's going to go on Lance Dollison.
Oh, that's 20, Jackson.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong number there. Yeah, it was Willie Jackson, the very talented young starting freshman.
Inbound, out to center circle to Brown as he looks for Founder to run the point. Check that, Flamion to Covington, corner three, got it.
First 3-point basket of the game. Garrett Covington puts it in.
7-5, Fishers with a 2-point lead. Midway point of the quarter.
So far, I think this is just exactly what we expected, the guys. We expected a fast-paced game, but a low-scoring game, which we've got.
Yeah, it looked like as Brown flowed with Jackson, he kind of had a grip on his hip pocket the whole time down. That'll be Sterling Brown's first foul. 3 on Carmel. Inbound, Walter. Free throw line jumper, good. Eaton is an assist machine. In a game like we had last night, I unofficially, like I said, had him for 14 assists along with his 11.6 boards.
Yep.
Brown, 16-footer, no. Dallas on the board. Backs it out, Jackson. Now it's Walter.
3 on the way.
Just short on that. Covington hit the boards. Flamion, 3, got it. Wow. Sterling Brown with the assist, and Preston Flamion with his first points of the ball game.
And an offensive foul being called here.
The ball. It's going to be on Lance Dollison.
Dollison picks up his first foul.
Carmel 3 fouls, Fishers 2. Dollison and Jackson for Fishers. Brown, Flamion, and Richardson for Carmel. Back to the way left to right, Carmel goes. Covington finding room, back out. Founder, 3 from the left, got it. Wow.
he was left wide open. Somebody blew an assignment there.
And that's something that Alex Founder really hasn't done in this sectional tournament, is shoot hardly at all. 11-9, Carmel with their first lead of the night. Wright's up off the glass, good.
So Wrights picks up his first 2 points of the game, and we're tied at 11.
No. Walter at the board off that Carmel miss. Back the other way. Eaton gets it to Dollison right side. Tell you what, Willie Jackson looks like he's a real confident freshman out there.
Very poised for a youngster.
Dollison, 17-footer, no. Foul under the board. Hands off to Brown, now left side of Covington, looking for Richardson. He's all covered down low. Brown to Founder, he'll drive baseline, back out Brown. Right side three, no. And all batted out of Walter's hands by Covington, and Walter recovers.
Walter did a good job of keeping that ball from going out of bounds. I thought that was going to be an out-of-bounds play, and the Greyhounds were going to have it.
With Jackson to Wrights. He'll reset it to Eaton. Over on the cursive Miller's letters. Zach drives, now it's Jackson. Jackson. Screen from Walter, pulls up, 12-footer, no. Rebound by Covington, he's got 4 boards.
We're under a minute.
Slows up, Brown, hands off to Covington, dips it down low, Richardson trying to make a move, fade away, no, in and out. And yep, right there, Flamion, and that is number 2 on Preston Flamion.
That's a bad foul. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, came down.
Momentum and
got him with the arm, and unfortunately he picked up the foul, and we'll have to see if Coach Hetty is going to go to the bench and take him out.
Yep, he does. PJ Barron, number 30, now in there for the Greyhounds. Even though we've got 37 seconds till the quarter break, got to get Flamion out of there now with 2 personal fouls. 11-11. Half a minute to go in the first. Founder trying to draw one there on Eaton.
Tigers look like they're going to be satisfied with taking the final shot of the quarter.
We're down to 10 seconds. Wrights to Walter, 3 seconds. Eaton, long right three, no.
Oh, just missed.
After 1 quarter play, it's Fishers 11, Carmel 11.
Well, let's run through our sponsors really quick here. Community Health, Church, Hidland, Anthem, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Mark Hairbrand, Commissioner, Wolfies, and Peterson Architecture. You know, guys, this is kind of what we expected here, just like Brad said earlier. It's kind of a fast pace, but not a lot of points. So here you go.
First quarter stats.
One thing I did notice, it appears as though this game is being called from the foul standpoint just a little bit tighter than what we saw in the games last night.
Absolutely. I think you're right there, Brad. One thing we want to give a shout out to Danny Hubbard for doing the stats. He does all the stats for Guerin Catholic, and he's up here helping us tonight on this broadcast.
Coming out of the timeout, the quarter timeout, 11-11, Carmel will have the basketball. Craig Atkins alongside Brad Silbert and Perry Williams. Glad you've joined us this evening. Sectional championship here at the Mill in Noblesville. It's Carmel and Fishers for the right to see who advances to Logansport next Saturday for the regionals. Covington looks, Brown, left wing three, got it. He had to You have to know that's probably a drawn-up play. Brown with his first points, the 4th three-pointer. So 12 of Carmel's 14 points from outside the arc. Trenton Richardson, he's got 2 also.
That's Brown's 5th three-pointer of the tournament.
Yeah, he's been quietly an assassin for the Greyhounds, not really known as a big scorer, but he's came through in times that Carmel needed him. Inbound, 30 seconds into the second quarter. Jackson's got it right side. Out to Eaton. Now Dawson. Looks like we'll see Tyler Wolf, number 22, and 11 Reed Stevens for the Fishers, the next dead ball. Jackson to Eaton. They'll float around. Now Walter backs down and try to get a foul called on Richardson, but no. Rice with the offensive board. Good work by him down there, not stepping on the baseline. Jackson probably could have shot that 3.
Yeah, I thought he was going to let that fly, and just at the last second he changed his mind.
Instead, Zach Eaton lets one fly from the right corner. No. Rebound by Barron. Cole Jenkins, number 3, came in. That previous foul called. Number 4 of the Carmel Greyhounds. They'll float it around. 14-11 Carmel. 6:15 until halftime. Brown to Barron. They'll float it around. So I don't think Walter is going to let too much down low, trying to dip it to Richardson.
Greyhounds are exhibiting a lot of patience here, looking for that inside shot.
Now Covington drives. 9-footer, got it.
Nice move by Garrett Covington.
Covington's been a real nice addition since January for the Greyhounds. He's a move-in. Very talented.
Jackson drives. Got a little altered on his shot and lost control. Richardson the rebound. Jenkins, Covington for 3 now, got it.
Another 3 for Garrett Covington. That's his second one of the night.
He's got 8 points and timeout Fishers. It's 19-11, an 8-0 run to start the second quarter of play in the first 2:40.
Well, this is where the Fishers Tigers are going to have a bit of a problem if they can't recover from this 8-0 run here to begin this quarter. It's like we said earlier, they are very reliant on their starters, and they're going to make a couple changes here at the whistle. And Carmel is very deep off of their bench.
Yeah, Carmel has many more options. It seems like Fishers doesn't go. They go maybe too deep with Tyler Wolf, and we'll probably also see off the bench Reed Stevens, Andre Small if they get in a pinch.
You know, that's one thing that's unusual with Scott Hetty's team this season is he usually doesn't go very deep on the bench. You know, he in past years, he'll only use maybe 7 or 8 players.
Mm-hmm.
But
especially
this year,
in those two, 2012 and 2013 state champion teams, they weren't deep squads. They just got it done with who they had. Back to it, Walter, hands off Dawson. Top for 3, no. Barron skies for a board.
Dollison had a good clean look at that and just plain and simple missed the shot to the right.
Covington guarded heavily.
Boy, 10 points for Covington already tonight.
21-11, a 10-0 run for Carmel to start the second quarter. Reed Stevens whistled with a traveling violation.
Covington's already got 10 points tonight. He had a total of 12 in the game last night.
I believe he had 16. Covington making his mark here. He's got 12.
Covington for the tournament had 31 points coming in tonight's game, so.
Going to be 2 shots here.
We'll see if Flamion coming back in. Cole Jenkins with that foul. Reed Stevens going to go to the line. Stevens, back of the iron, misses the first free throw.
I think the important thing we need to talk about a little bit too is, Garrett Covington can play some good defense.
Yeah.
He did a great job on John Kaiser the other night, and Dullison hasn't got a point yet. So.
Both free, yeah, no kidding. Both free throws, back of the iron. Misses for Reed Stevens. That could have gotten Fishers back within 10, but still a 12-point margin, 23-11 Carmel. Back out. Flamion. Brown, right corner 3, got it. Sterling Brown with a pair of trays here in the second quarter. He's got 6.
Over 4 minutes gone, and the Tigers have yet to score in this quarter.
This definitely wasn't the case last night as they ran away with an 82-69. Wolf with a long 3 missed. Rebound Jenkins, 82-69, semifinal win over Guerin Catholic last night. As points were aplenty in that one, for sure.
The key point in this game, I think, right now is that first quarter, Walter got some shots inside, in the paint, and now they're not looking at him much right now, and they're taking some long, quick shots and trying to get back in this ball game and digging a bigger hole.
Yeah, it's probably.
Scott Hetty decided to take a 30-second timeout here. I'm kind of wondering what his reason for a timeout was, unless he wanted to get a sub in or something like that, because this quarter, this first 5 minutes of this quarter has just been all Carmel, 100% Carmel. I mean, they've outscored Fishers 14-0 in the first 4 minutes and 59 seconds of the quarter. They have done an excellent job so far this quarter.
Yeah, 3 threes and 3 twos for Carmel to jump out big time on Fishers, 26-11. First 5 minutes of the second quarter. It's Founder. Free throw line. Nope, no jumper. Richardson off the glass. No, gets his own board. Like he was fouled by Wolf, but no.
Richardson picks up his 4th point of the game.
28-11. 2:40 until half. Now it's Small to Stevens. Now it's Wolf. Dishes down low. Walter makes a move. Short on it. Covington the board. He's got a handful of those. Brown back out to Covington on the Noblesville end. Founder. Flamion. Carmel moving the ball rather quickly. Flamion left corner 3. A high one, no. Covington way up there for the rebound and got it. Fishers burns another one. Going to be a
full timeout this time, Perry.
Yep.
Well, one of the things that I noticed.
Want to thank our sponsors here: Community Health, Church Hidland Anthem, Ivy Tech, Smith Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Mark Hairbrandt, Commissioner, Wolfies, and Peterson Architecture.
One of the things I noticed here in this second quarter so far, Craig, is it appears as though the Greyhounds are about a half a step to a step ahead of the Tigers. That last 3-point attempt down here in the corner, just beyond us, I think it was Flamion who took the shot. He had a clear open shot, but the other side of that one is not only was he wide open, but the the Greyhounds also managed to get the offensive rebound on the board and put it back up for 2 more points.
I'd like to thank you all that have joined us this evening and throughout this sectional tournament. Been a lot of you. I think we broke a record the other night. And can't thank you enough for joining us and being a part of our sectional here at Noblesville High School.
I think this is one thing I don't think any of us expected to see tonight in this game, a 19-0 run by the Greyhounds.
We'll see if something happened in that timeout. Joe Leonard burned right there. As now it's Eaton to Jackson. Back out the right. Starters are on the floor for Fishers. Dips it down, and Walter out of position. Trenton Richardson steals it. Brown's got it. Fallender drives. Down low, it's P.J. Barron. No. And we've got a personal foul. Is that going to be on Barron? Possibly.
I couldn't see who it was on, but it probably could have gone either way as they were fighting over the possession.
They called that on Richardson.
Yeah, that'll be his second.
I must have had his first foul. Wasn't really his first foul, so he's got 2.
Yeah, he has 2 now.
Yeah.
17 fouls.
This was about the same point, about the same time the other night in the Westfield game, the Westfield Fishers game, when Coach Leonard called a timeout and they really turned things around and started getting back in that game and eventually got back into the lead.
Dollison makes the first, misses the second. His first points of the ball game came with about 1:40 until half. A guy that racked up 29 last night in their 82-69 win over Guerin Catholic in the semifinal. Covington out of Brown right side. Up top, Britt Beery. Brown gets a screen from Beery, now left side. Fallender, Barron. Brown dips it down low to Beery, makes a move, and up, no. Gonna have a foul, looks like.
Beery is gonna be shooting a pair. I couldn't tell who that was gonna be on.
Might be Wrights. Yep, Caleb Wrights with that foul, that's his first. And that one off the left side of the iron, no. Makes the second as Beery. It's 31-12. Last night, Beery 1 of 2 at the line for his point. Jackson down low. Dollison fades back, right baseline, got it.
Dollison finally sinks a field goal there to end that drought, and he gets on the board with his first 2.
Nonetheless, it's 20-3 this quarter. Carmel up on Fishers after they were not at all at 11 through 1. We're down to 40 seconds. And a foul on Zach Eaton as he got a leg out there.
I think he got him with the arm. It kind of looked like he was reaching in there. Let's see how what the official signals here.
With 5:41 left to go in the half, McCutcheon 17, Zionsville 16.
Figured that'd be a tight one throughout. Fallender gets the inbound. Now it's Brown, deep right. Jackson on him to 25 seconds. Guards will try and hand it off to each other. A little contact there by Jackson, no call. Fallender. Ooh. And
that was going to go on Eaton.
Yep.
Yeah, he kind of pushed the body to him. And
here's the interesting score. Lawrence Central 23, North Central 21 with 3:20 left to go in the first half. But the interesting part is Kyle Guy's got 17 of the 23 points.
Wow.
He's making that last push for his Mr. Basketball bid for sure.
Well, you know, Wilkes got 31 last night in his game,
Yeah.
and Kyle Guy didn't have a real good game. He only got 16 last night. So
Brown with 5. Oh.
I think Jackson's going to pick that one up, Willie Jackson.
That's only foul number 6 with 3.1 left.
I tell you what, that was pretty heads up for the young freshman there to make that foul, you know.
Yep.
Because he had him beat. He was gonna score.
He had him beat, and he had a clear lane for what should have been an easy layup.
Yeah, it was cleared out for him.
Very outstanding for a freshman.
Barron will inbound right there by the scores table and Fisher's bench. Inbound to Brown. 2, 1. Pulls up. Just short to hit the bottom of the net. And we're at the half. Carmel 31, Fishers 14. We'll take a short break here and add up the stats and come back and talk about it in just a few moments right here on Hometown Television.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
She was very little. Taylor loved to play basketball.
My dream was to play basketball in college.
That day, she was having a great game. Then she landed after a rebound. When I saw her, I just felt sick.
I knew right away that I had torn my ACL.
A teammate recommended Shelbourne Knee Center.
Their doctors and physical therapists have taken care of thousands of knees like mine. My dream came true. I'm going to be playing basketball at Huntington University.
Shelbourne Knee Center, now part of Community Health Network.
Back here live at the Mill, halftime here in Class 4A Sectional 8 championship game. It's Carmel 31, Fishers 14, and for the first solid 5 or so minutes, Fishers was just cold, both ends of the court, as Carmel started off the second quarter on a 19-0 run to get this nice cushion. They've got a 17-point football score here at halftime.
I think part of it came down to, Craig, is it appears as though the Greyhounds are about a half a step ahead of the Tigers now. During the first quarter, I thought they played them very even in that. When they needed to get back, they were getting back, but there were a couple of, especially those three-point shots there during the middle and latter part of the second quarter, when the Greyhounds, regardless of who was shooting it, they were just wide open, and the defender was, still trying to get in place. And even then, if they missed the three, they were getting the offensive rebound, and that really seemed to make a big difference. So far, at least according to the stats that we were given, Carmel has a total of 3 offensive rebounds. Looks like the Tigers have got 1 or 2 here right now. I'm having a little hard time figuring this one out. But point-wise, Garrett Covington is having the game of his life today. 14 points in the game so far. And for the Tigers, the big guns of Dollison and Wolter. Wolter's not doing too bad at 9 points, but he had all of those points in the
first quarter.
In the first quarter. Caleb Wrights was the only other one who scored, and then Lance Dollison, he didn't even get on the scoreboard until late in the second quarter, and he was the only one who scored a field goal for the Tigers. It almost looked like for the Tigers, I don't think they were necessarily taking bad shots, Perry, but the shots that they were getting weren't the best, but they weren't bad, but they just I don't know how to say it other than they just weren't hitting the shots.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that, Brad. You know, and the one thing that was a little bit different in that second quarter is I don't think Fishers was quite as patient as they were in the first quarter, looking inside. And,
I agree.
And they pulled up a lot, came down the floor, pulled up and took a shot. I mean, they weren't bad shots, okay, but they weren't, they could possibly have work to get a better shots, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Well, Perry, we're about 5 minutes away from the start of the second half here. I want to put you in the locker room as Coach, first as Coach Joe and then as Coach Scott. What are you telling your Carmel players if you're Coach Scott Heddy?
Well, Coach Scott Heddy, I think he's probably telling his kids right now that, we got one half down and we got one more half to go here to win another sectional championship. We got to do what we did in the second quarter, and I'm sure that he's looking for Flamion and some of and Richardson and Brown to pick up the pace a little bit, because Covington had a great second quarter, and I'm not sure that he's going to keep that up.
What does the Fishers brain trust tell their kids? I mean, they got a tough assignment ahead of them. I mean, I'm not going to, I'm not trying to sound like I'm not cutting them any slack, but Carmel is Carmel. Look, they're hitting on all 8 cylinders right now, and if they can keep, even if they, just trade baskets for the rest of the game.
And you got to think too. Joe Leonard's in a little bit of a predicament right now, because Carmel's got 31 points and it's only half.
Yeah.
So we know that Scott Heddy can slow that ball down.
Well,
we know that he can work for a shot. So Joe Leonard has got to hit the first. I know this is an old cliche and everything, but this first 2 or 3 minutes of this third quarter is huge for Fishers.
Well, in the other 2 games that the Greyhounds have played in, they only had 15 points at the half.
Right.
And so, all of a sudden, they've got 31 points. They're out to a huge lead.
Yeah.
And, if somebody was said without telling you that Carmel had 31, that said that Fishers has 14 at halftime, you might think the way the games have been going, the Carmel games have been going, you wouldn't think it would be this big of a lead.
We keep talking about what the biggest factor is, and it's Garrett Covington. And the fact that before, 13 games ago, they didn't have a Garrett Covington, or didn't know about a Garrett Covington, and he had 94 points, averaging 9.4 points a game. He scored 45 through 2.5 games in this sectional, so about half of what he had scored, scored to the point of this sectional before. I mean, it's just he's becoming the player that they were glad that moved here.
Yeah,
for sure. Because
definitely.
I'm not saying that they didn't have any. I mean, but there were times where I think Carmel's offense was looking for something like that, and you get a diamond, moving like this. That's going to be a huge spark plug, like Garrett Covington is, and Scott Heddy. He must have been talking upstairs, because he got one of those prayers answered, and this kid could honestly spark Carmel to go deep into this state tournament.
Absolutely. And the one thing that we were talking about Fishers and what Joe Leonard said to his team at halftime. I would say that number 10, Mr. Eaton. I mean, we've watched this kid in 3 or 4 years on a football field or a basketball floor. he can spark a team quickly, and he can hit a couple of shots, make a couple of good passes, and Fishers could be back in this ball game. So Mr. Eaton's got to pick up the pace here a little bit, and the pressure's on the senior, and I've seen him perform many times when the heat is on.
One little bit of information here. I just got a text from Jan Bozier. He's with the IHSAA crew over at Arsenal Tech. At halftime, it's Lawrence Central 25, North Central 22.
All right, let's thank our sponsors here again. Community Health, Church Hiddle and Anthem, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Mark Hairbrandt, Commissioner, Wolfies, Peterson Architecture. Want to thank our fans too for viewing this ball game and the entire tournament.
Fans also, speaking of Wolfies, if you're looking for something to do after the ball game tonight, head on out to the Noblesville Wolfies location. They've got a band called Mojo Gumbo playing tonight.
Anything like a soup?
Yeah.
You know, I always thought it was too, but I guess it's a band. Kind of sounds good, a little gumbo.
Oh, yeah.
Some jambalaya.
Here we go.
Fishers basketball to start the third quarter. Craig Atkins alongside Perry Williams and Brad Silbert. 1/2 away to crowning the Class 4A Sectional 8 champion. Eaton, right side, picks his dribble up. Now it's Walter. Back out. They're looking to have an inside-out game. Walter up, off the glass. Bounces twice and in. Walter has 11.
That is a big basket for the Tigers because they just need to chip away at this thing. They're not going to get all these points back right away, but if they can keep chipping away at this thing and chip away at it, they got 16 minutes to come back and win this yet.
Yeah, this game is definitely not over. Down low. And Richardson, as Dawson tried to draw the foul on him, 33-16.
I thought that was a good no call on that one.
Yeah, he kind of Dawson flowed with him. Eaton now to rights. Caleb makes a move out now to Lance Dawson. Dribble drive inside. Little check foul. If that's on Flamion, it is. That's 3 on Preston Flamion. Something he's going to have to be careful with, or Scott Hetty may need to go to the bench soon.
Doesn't appear as though he's going to the bench yet.
I think he trusts his senior. Dawson drives, switches hands. No. Covington, another rebound. He's got it. 6. Up off the glass. Got it coast to coast. 16 now for Garrett Covington.
But guys, what we were talking about, what they did the first quarter, Fishers is attacking the basket. They're going inside to the paint.
Fallender with that personal foul. That's his first. Eaton will shoot a pair. And rattles that first one around and in. Eaton's first points of the night.
This is going to be the other factor that's going to be big in this half, is the Tigers have got to get to the foul line. And if they can convert, which they did 1 of 2 there, not bad, but they need to convert all their foul shots in this half.
They're now 3 out of 7 from the foul line, so you take that away, it's back to a 14. Add those back in. 14-point deficit, and maybe some of those mental errors, and this could be a lot closer ball game, and that wouldn't have been a 19-0 run to start the quarter number 2. Fallender looks, now it's Brown up top. Gets it back to Alex Fallender. Now Sterling Brown gets a screen from Richardson. Tries to get him on the roll, but Jackson steals it. Jackson goes high for the board after it got deflected. Now it's Lance Dawson. Looking for the screen, gets it from Walter. Fades away, got it.
I thought he got hit on the wrist on the way up on that one, but he still made it.
Great play there, and it's 35-20. Fishers just needs to get some defensive stops, and they're really back in this thing completely. it's Flamion. Covington, left corner, Eaton on him. Ooh, lose control.
That'll be the third foul on Zach Eaton.
Yep, I think if Covington wouldn't have kind of lost control of the ball a little bit and had to reach for it, Eaton would have reached out as well. Flamion to Richardson, now up top. Covington finds Founder. Drives baseline, now back out. Carmel looking for a good shot. Flamion will drive baseline, and it's going to be a blocking foul on Caleb Wrights. Number 2 on Wrights.
You know, the one thing about it in a championship game where the loser goes home and loses a sectional.
Inbound,
nice
Founder, right to Richardson. That textbook right there.
Neither coach, their senior Flamion or Eaton, either one picked up their third foul, and neither coach thought about taking them out.
Yep, you get that trust factor. Walter whistled for his first foul. Now it's Founder picked up 3/4 court by Jackson. That ball kicked off of Lance Dawson's knee. Right to Scott Heady.
It got the coach okay. He jumped back.
Sorry, he got a nice pat on the rear by the official. He said, hey, it's okay. It's not off of your player. Inside, Covington from Flamion, partially blocked, and Walter going to get charged with another foul quick as he goes over Trenton Richardson. That's the thing when you're a big man, you got to be careful. If you can reach over a guy, fine, but just don't touch him.
The Fishers fans are not happy about that, but that was the right call. And Walter just trying to make a play, and he just overextended himself.
Sterling Brown, a 3 off the mark. Rebound, Sterling Brown, deflected by Walter. I think he was frustrated. And
that one looks like it's probably going to go on Flamion, I think.
Yep, if that's Flamion, that's 4. Yep.
Yeah, that's 4 on
That is
Flamion.
his fourth.
Flamion.
Scott Heady still has not taken anybody off the bench to
And one
get
of
in
the
there for
assistants
him.
just got in his ear and said, hey,
there he
Hey,
goes.
coach.
I could read his assistant's lips, and he said, you want to get Flamion? Walter has it, spins, off the glass and in. We saw that time and time again last night against Garen Catholic because they had the inside matchup over Jack Hansen. 26 unofficial for Walter last night. Covington loses it out of bounds. Back goes the ball to Fishers.
This is just the kind of break that the Tigers need. Let's see if they can capitalize on this and get themselves some points here after we take a timeout.
Yep, they take a timeout, and that was probably honestly A, to stop momentum, and B, to get Preston Flamion off the floor because it wasn't going to be a loose ball anytime soon.
Carmel uses a full timeout here.
Want to thank our sponsors, Community Health, Church Hiddle and Anthem, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Mark Hairbrandt, Commissioner. Don't forget, May 3rd's coming up here, the election
The primaries.
for the primaries. Wolfie's, Peterson Architects, and keep in mind, too, they're going to have an open house at the Noblesville Ivy Tech. Done a lot of remodeling in there since they took over about a year and a half ago. So stop by Ivy Tech open house. It's from 5 to 7 o'clock with a 7 o'clock ribbon cutting.
Perry, you were talking earlier about that Zionsville-McCutcheon game. I was living up in Lafayette when Rick Peckinpah came to McCutcheon. And he hit the ground running, and he has never stopped. One of the great high school coaches.
He's an old Indiana State alumni. guy.
Is he?
Yeah,
Him and Jerry Baker.
that's right. And me.
You too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All the famous people. and Larry Bird, too. You got to throw Larry in there.
Who's that?
Oh, like that guy that sits on the tunnel at Banker's
Oh,
Life,
okay.
41 nights a year.
And shows no expression.
Back out of the timeout. Little Jackson found her all over him, trying to make a move up, and no, doesn't get to the rim home. Hits the rim twice, but it looks like that'll be on Founder.
McCutcheon's up 44-36 with 3:09 left in the third quarter. They went on a 10-1 run.
Jackson misses the free throw, and I noticed that Willie likes to work on his free throws because he hasn't shot the best at the line.
How many have you got on Fallender now? Was that his third?
2 on Founder. Second one's good by Jackson. Up the court, Brown, Jenkins, Covington, now back to Jenkins. Fishers has toned up their defense a little bit. Reed Stevens back in there. Now it's Brown for 3, got it.
A cerebral assassin, man.
Yep.
9 points for him, all of them on 3-pointers.
Jackson's got it. Looked for Walter, couldn't find him, and there's a check foul. Little reach in. Not sure if that's Richardson or Barron.
Looks like it's on P.J. Barron, his first.
Nope, 10, Sterling Brown.
Ooh.
Not sure if the officials saw that number right. 40-23, 3 minutes on the third quarter clock. Fisher's trying to cut into this lead. Now it's Dawson, deep right. Covington on him, looking for a Walter screen. Gets one, gets the roll. Almost stolen, deflected by Cole Jenkins.
Keep an eye on that battle going on down there for number 44 for Fishers, Cameron Walter. Number 42 for Carmel, Trenton Richardson. They are really mixing it up down there.
Yep, somebody's going to get, Richardson may get a third foul. Walter may get his. Basket no good, but the smirk on his face. Richardson going to get whistled for that one. That is his third.
We kind of called that one, didn't we, guys?
Yeah.
Yep. They've been battling all night long.
You see that coming a mile away.
Terre Haute South beats Avon 85-69.
Oh, wow.
That's Terre Haute South's first sectional championship since 2009.
You know what? This Avon team, when the record books go down, they got to put an asterisk by this name or this year because, I mean, with what, the past 3 years, they've had Brandon Peters as part of that basketball squad. And obviously Jim Harbaugh probably frowned upon him. Actually, he already enrolled in Ann Arbor, so wasn't able to be a part of the basketball team at Avon this year. So one of those football early enrollees.
Looks like Lance Dollison's going to pick up a foul there.
That's him. That's 2.
15 fouls, so probably before the end of this quarter, we're going to at least be in the 1-on-1.
Barron to inbound. Finds Brown. I think Brown almost thought that it was going to be an over and back.
It was close, depending where he would have touched it.
Yeah. Andre Small going to check in just a moment. Covington. And just enough contact by Reed Stevens, his first personal. 6 fouls on the Tigers. Covington will be at the line.
Scoreboard has also got 6 on the Greyhounds.
I think they say Covington was shooting. So this will be 2 shots for Garrett Covington. Rattles that one around and in. His first trip to the line. Carmel's that's only their third free throw of the night. They haven't needed to go to the line. They've gotten it everywhere else.
We played almost 6 minutes, and the lead is still exactly the same as it was at halftime.
Free throw off the mark as I jinxed him there. 2 out of 4. The Greyhounds from the foul line. Dawson drives, fouled by Covington, and the basket's good. Just the first personal on Covington, but that puts Fishers in the bonus. Lance Dawson was shooting the old-fashioned three-point play.
Just like Brad said earlier, free throws are going to be a huge part of this down the stretch run here for Fisher.
Yep, plenty of time left for Fishers to try and chip away as Dawson makes number 2, or the first free throw and the only. He's got 9. After he was quite silent for most of the first half. 41-27, 155 in the third. Carmel up by 14. Covington. Reed Stevens with a blocking foul. Smart play there by Covington. And that'll be 7 fouls apiece, so 1 and 1 for Garrett Covington. First one up, nails it. He's got 18 points to lead all scorers. Walter with 14 for Fishers. Second one up and in and out. Rebound to Small. Dawson gets tripped.
I think that's going to go on Covington.
If that's Covington, they're having quite a battle as well.
No, it's not Covington.
Sterling Brown gets that one. That's Brown's third. So Brown with 3. Flamion with 4. Richardson with 3. So Lance Dawson will be at the free throw line.
I'm sure there was no intent on that on the part of
you would hope
Brown,
not.
but those are the kind of plays that so often you end up with injuries on, and you just hate to see a play like that happen. Hate to see somebody get hurt.
It's like I'd say, it probably wasn't intended to happen, but an LSU player went between a couple Kentucky players this afternoon, and a Kentucky player slipped his foot out and tripped the kid. And, of course, the next dead ball right there, Calipari pulls that player out. I don't think Jamal Murray saw any more time the rest of the day. So whether it was intended or not, it happened. Covington. Carmel trying to float it around. 42-29. Now Brown drives up over Walter. No. Rebound to Walter. Almost intercepted, but Barron picks it off, steps on the line.
Score update here, Muncie Central 42, Homestead 40, with 3:34 left to go in the third quarter.
Good for them. I mean, they played a whale of a ball game last night, and you hate to see a team that scores 110 run out of gas the next night. Under a minute, third quarter, 42-29. Carmel up on Fishers. Small to Jackson, now back to Small. Shoots a 3 right wing, no. Covington the board. Unofficially, that is 8 rebounds. At least what my pen tells me. I imagine our 2 statisticians in the house may have something different. 30 seconds in the third. It's awful hard to keep these.
We'll just have to correct them.
Lawrence Central and North Central tied at 36 with 34 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Andre Small with that foul, his first. Team's 8th, both teams 8 fouls, so it's going to be a long fourth quarter, I think. Stevens gets pulled. He's got 2 fouls, both here in the quarter. Cole Jenkins will shoot the 1-and-1 for the Greyhounds. Free throw off the back of the iron, no. Dawson the board. Looks at the clock, now down to 8 seconds. Back out to Small. Jackson floats it, 9-footer. Blocking foul, that's going to be on Britt Beery. I think he snuck in the last dead ball as well.
Beery will pick up his second foul, 8th team foul. Two-shot opportunity here for freshman, 5'10 freshman, number 20, Willie Jackson.
2.7 on the third quarter clock. Fishers clears the lane. Covington, Barron, and Beery there to pick up a possible board, and Jackson misses that. It'll be 2 shots. Jackson now 1 of 3 at the line.
That's Sterling Brown coming back in for the Greyhounds.
Fishers 8 out of 15 from the foul line. You can see the frustration after that first free throw miss there by Jackson. He's 1 out of 3. Second one on its way, good. 2 of 4 at the line, his 2 points coming from the line. Covington gets the long pass, 3 on the way, short. And through 3 quarters, it's Carmel 42, Fishers 30.
We'd like to thank our sponsors here, Community Health, Church Hiddle and Anthem, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Mark Hairbrandt for Commissioner. Don't forget to vote in the primaries on May 3rd. Wolfies, Peterson Architecture.
Perry, we've got an updated score here. I'm not sure if you had this one yet or not, but at the end of 3 at Arsenal, it's now North Central 38, Lawrence Central 36.
Ooh.
Barn burner there tonight.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we expected. I don't think anybody didn't think that Tech Sectional was going to be a fun one.
For so many years, Lawrence Central took a back seat to Lawrence North.
Oh.
Right.
And now these last, these last couple of years, they have come into their own and are really providing Lawrence North with some great competition.
Absolutely, and you got to give a lot of credit to Kyle Guy and his play there. I mean, there's a lot of talented player that Coach Gooden's got there at Lawrence Central, but Kyle Guy has led the way and got the good opportunity that he may be Mr. Basketball this year.
Well, Fishers had a 17-point deficit at the half. Now it is an 12-point deficit. So they did cut into that a little bit.
Jim, you want to give Brad a calculator?
Yeah, I need. It's that new math that I never learned.
Down low, Richardson's got it. That spun around, almost a full 360 on the hoop. And out. It's going to be Cameron Walter with the foul as he and Trenton Richardson are going at it. 2
Walter
shots
picks
for
up
Richardson.
his third.
Yep, Cameron Walter's got 3. Eaton's got 3. 2 apiece out of Wrights, Jackson, Dawson, and Stevens.
It'll be kind of interesting, guys. We got a full quarter to play, and we got quite a few guys with 3 and 4 fouls, so it may be the last guy standing here.
Or somebody may have to dig a little deeper on their bench if we get guys fouling out. Richardson misses the second. Covington, no. Walter the board.
Walter just took that ball right away from Covington and brought it down.
Jackson, no. Barron the board. Up the court. Floats it to Covington. Behind their back he goes. Up off the glass. No. We got a pushing foul.
I think it'll be on Mr. Gullison.
It may be. If that's Lance, that's 3. And it is.
Yes, it is on Lance Dullison.
42-30. Check that 43-30.
Everything from Carmel for this point on is 2 shots. Since they've got 10 personals, since Tigers have already committed 10.
19 points now for Covington as he sinks that one. He's 3 out of 5 at the charity stripe.
I should also add it's the same way for Fishers. From next foul on, they're shooting 2 on everyone.
Covington now with 21. He's 4 out of 6 from the line. 45-30. Fishers needs to get something done quick. Dawson, Covington on him. Drives, fades back. No. Stevens gets it. No, Wolf the rebound. Eaton the 3. Got it.
First points of the night for Zach Eaton. And they're big ones.
Just a tip out there from Zach Wolf, or took that Tyler Wolf. And it's back to a 12-point deficit for Fishers. 1 minute into the fourth quarter. Preston Flamion with 4 fouls, getting ready to check in next dead ball. Sterling Brown. Now it's Barron driving back out. Brown thought about a 3, crouched down. Now he drives on Reed Stevens. If that's Stevens, that'll be 3 on Reed. And it is. So he's got 3. Eaton, Dollison, and Walter with 3 for Fishers. Sterling Brown with 3. Preston Flamion, who's checking back in momentarily, has 4, and Trenton Richardson 3.
So there's only one with 4 fouls, that being Flamion, right?
Yep. And that free throw rattled around and in. Sterling Brown now with 10 points on the night. 3 trays, and that is first free throw line. Sink. Back in. Looks like it's Willie Jackson back in, and second one up and good. Brown has 11. 14 points to margin. Jackson now across the timeline. Now to Eaton. Dollison, covered by Covington, wants to drive on him.
Traveling.
Oh. Got some Fishers fans below us, a little disgruntled about that and disagreeing.
I think Dollison was the most surprised guy on the court there. I think he thought he was going to be shooting 2. Joe Leonard obviously not happy with the call.
Founder across the midcourt stripe, now to Flamion. To Sterling Brown. Carmel just trying to waste as much clock as possible. Fisher's looking for travel there. I didn't see it personally, but I don't wear stripes. Under 6 minutes left. Scott Heddy going to call a timeout.
We're going to take a 30-second timeout.
That'll give Carmel 2 timeouts remaining, I believe. And the Boo Birds are out. Fishers fans not happy with these officials right now. But that's one thing the players have to fight through.
I think all in all, I think the officials have done a pretty good job tonight. Yeah. You know, there have been a few things that have happened that, the last one down here where Dollison got called for the travel. I thought for sure it was going to be a foul at first, and turned out to be a travel against him. But sometimes those things happen, and I'm not watching for the feet like the like the officials are. And of course, then you've got the guys out there who are trying to win the Emmys and the Oscars for their acting. You know, the best flop of the night or the best push off or whatever. And do I blame them for trying it? Heck no, I'd try the same thing. Yeah, anything to give your team an edge.
Back out of the timeout. Brown to Fowler. Now floats it back to Brown. Covington finds Flamion. A little flip up off the glass and in. Only Preston Flamion's second field goal. He's got 5 because he's been hampered with 4 fouls. Reed Stevens got it. Basket counts. Reed Stevens' first points. That's 5 on Flamion. That's big with 5.5 minutes left.
The Flamion's night is done.
Basket is good by Reed Stevens, and that fouls out Preston Flamion. And
obviously, I've got him for 5 points.
Yep, a 3 and a 2 to his credit tonight. Stevens swishes the first. He was 0 for 2 before that one. Gets the old-fashioned three-point play, and it's 49-36. Founder.
I would imagine during that last timeout that Scott Heddy called, was probably telling his team, take the air out of the ball,
Yep.
Take some time off the clock. Nothing but good shots.
Yeah, just make them come to you because of Fishers would happen to foul them, like you guys said moments ago.
Yeah. Both
teams now in the double bonus.
I would be very surprised to see the Greyhounds take any more three-point shots at this point.
Right. 4:50 on the clock. Carmel trying to milk the clock.
You've already taken 30 seconds off right here.
Yeah. Oh, Fallender surprised all of us as he knocks down his second tray of the night. Now Carmel up 16, 52-36, 4.5 to go. Reed Stevens trying to dial it up a notch. And I think that's Fallender with the foul. That's his third. And that'll send Stevens to the line to shoot as tried to convert the bucket, but it did not fall. Seems like anytime Fishers makes a little headway, Carmel comes right back and wants to make the cushion even bigger.
Stevens picks up his 4th point of the night.
Fishers called the timeout. All they'll have left is 2 30-second timeouts the rest of the game.
Well, Craig, just a little observation here in the Mill tonight. I have not seen the Fishers fans throwing in the towel. They're just as boisterous and they're behind their team 100%. As if they were out ahead by 12. And same thing for the Carmel fans. They have not become complacent, and they're out there cheering their team on to what is beginning to look a little bit more like it might be a sectional victory for the Greyhounds, and then they would be going up to Logansport to face either Zionsville or McCutcheon, and
which looks like it's going McCutcheon way right now, but there's still time in that fourth quarter. The one thing about it too that we've talked about and touched on it quite a bit about Garrett Covington coming in January, but the world would have come to an end with Flamion tonight if they hadn't had Covington. I mean,
right.
Flamion getting in foul trouble. He was the go-to guy for the Greyhounds at the beginning of the season. With Covington coming along, it's taken a lot of pressure off of him.
Well, the scoreboard has got him for 20 points tonight, and he's the leading scorer. The next closest person to him for the Greyhounds is Sterling Brown with 10, so he's got everybody else doubled up.
Yeah.
Barron to inbound, far right baseline to Brown. Full court pressure on. Covington drives. Now it's almost a walk there by Richardson. And
oh boy,
Barron
I don't agree with that.
No, Barron leaned right into
he did.
Stevens. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if that's going to look like give an Oscar, a Grammy, or.
Well, the unfortunate thing for the Tigers is the referee did not see the lean in, because I was watching exactly where they were positioned.
All he did was see contact,
and he saw the contact. If he had been, and I don't fault the referee, but you've also got the situation here where you've got you've got 2,500 referees in here tonight too.
Yep. Now the next question is, will we see something similar called? Dallison dials up a three, off the mark, back of the iron, no. Stevens rebounds. Timeout Fishers, they'll call 30, that's all they have left.
They're down to their last timeout after this.
.402 left, fourth quarter, it's Carmel 53, Fishers 38 as.
It's coming down here in the fourth quarter at Arsenal Tech. North Central's pulled away, 49, Lawrence Central 39.
Not a big surprise with the Doug Mitchell team.
And Doug Mitchell's playing, thank you, I didn't have to be at the Noblesville sectional this year.
I think Sean Busic's thinking the same thing up there at
Zionsville.
Up there at Logansport for that.
Now I can remember the years when North Central was playing in this sectional.
Pike.
And I can remember a couple games that Doug Mitchell pulled the rabbit out of the hat, and I can remember a couple of other games that he was, let's say he came up on the short end of the stick, and one in particular involved a member of the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, I'll never forget that shot. I was standing in that far corner over there, that northwest corner. Walter down low, moves on Richardson, up and good.
Wow.
That's the play that Fisher should have been going to all evening long.
And when they have, they've been very successful at going inside with Walter.
4 now on Trenton Richardson as that battle's not going his way. Free throw good. Walter is 3 of 4 at the line. Back to a 12-point deficit midway through the fourth. 53-41 Carmel up the court. Brown floats it to Covington and back out to Fallender. Now it's Covington. Fisher's with that tight D. Looks like P.J. Barron is that close to a traveling call. A couple different times now. It might be just because he's got that lanky figure. 3:23 left. Carmel just spreading the floor.
Now I really don't think they'll take a three-point shot.
Well, I mean, Fallender surprised us. Let's see what they do.
Yeah.
Richardson thought about the baseline jumper.
Kick ball.
Yep. Dawson kicks it, stops that momentum of tossing it around.
Well, with a 12-point lead in just under 3 minutes, if the Greyhounds can play keep away well enough, they're gonna get this game. And I'm a little bit surprised that the Tigers aren't putting more pressure on.
And
that one's going to go on number 35, Wrights.
That'll be 2 shots. Uez getting a little chippy with a couple different players. Some words getting sent back and forth by, looks like Dawson and Brown. The official obviously standing in between before he gets the ball to Brown. Brown's first free throw up and good. He's got 12, 3 of 3 at the foul line and 3 threes.
With 2:34 left in the fourth quarter, Marion and Tipton are tied at 62.
Brown with 13 now. Eaton, right side of Jackson. Tries to make a move. 2:44 left. Fishers may want to make, yep, there you go. 3 is good, a deep 3 by Lance Dawson.
That was an NBA 3.
Yeah. Up the court they go. Barron from Richardson. Got it. Barron's first bucket. He's got 3. It's 57-44. Stevens fouled by Fallender. Fallender looks surprised, but if you make contact, you're going to get called at this point in the game. And at what's been happening, that's 4 on Fallender, I believe.
Yeah, I've got him for 4 now.
Carmel going to take a timeout to try and freeze Stevens because Reed Stevens 3 out of 5 at the foul line.
Both teams with only 1 time, but correction, the Greyhounds, they just updated the scoreboard. Okay, I was going to say, the Greyhounds.
We're ahead of them.
Yeah, we're ahead of our time. Greyhounds and the Tigers both have 1 timeout left. And I would really expect, and a little surprised that Joe Leonard hasn't really put a full court press on the inbounds play, because in that game against Westfield the other night, that was what changed their fate when they went to that full court press.
Here's the final. Indianapolis Howell 53, Shenandoah 41.
You know, I mean, with Shenandoah going down by 12, tremendous first season at Shenandoah for Dave McCullough. Started out the season, I believe they were, 12, 13-0?
13-0.
13-0, I think, and hit a couple rough spots against Eastern Hancock and LaPel. But tremendous first season by former Noblesville head coach Dave McCullough. Congratulations on his first good year at Shenandoah.
And, we saw Indianapolis Hal here, and they had some talented ball players.
Yep, they had some of those fine young players that almost had a berth in the football state finals. Class 2A, Reed Stevens misses. He is now 3 of 6 at the foul line. Makes the second. He is 4 out of 7 from the foul line. 6 points in the quarter. Cuts it back to a 12-point deficit for the Tigers again. Barron inbounds, and P.J. Barron seeing a lot more playing time than we've seen him get because of Flamian fouling out 3 minutes ago. 4 on Walter now. So he and Richardson both with 4 fouls now. Richardson has 9 points, looking for points 10 and 11. Makes the first. He's 2 of 3 at the line. Second one up. Swishes that one. Richardson has 11. Tyler Wolf back in there, 22 for Fishers. Caleb Wrights takes a chair. 59-45, 2:10 until we crown the 4A Sectional 8 champion. Eaton a 3 from the left. Looked good, but he needed a little bit more on it. Hits the bottom of the net, and yep, Sterling Brown travels. Donaldson a 3. No. Covington to the board. That may be near Covington's 9th or 10th rebound to get him a double-double.
That one's going to go on Zach Eaton.
That's number 4 on Zach Eaton.
It is going to be the parade to the foul line.
Yeah, for the longest, minute 55.
I've got Fallender's a 66% free throw shooter.
The lefty makes
Gets
the
it.
first, yep. He's got 7. And a player that doesn't score a whole lot. He's nailed a couple threes tonight. And makes his second free throw.
Averages 3.7 per game. He's got 8 tonight.
Carmel 13 of 14 at the foul line in this quarter alone. To lengthen this lead to 16 against Jackson. Drives, no.
That one's going to go into Tigers. I think that's on Willie Jackson.
Actually, that's Walter. That's 5.
Oh, okay.
17 points for Cameron Walter.
He had 41 coming in tonight's game, so he's had a pretty good tournament.
Yep, had a great tournament, and you hate to see that.
You can just see the disappointment in his face. End of a great career for the Tigers.
Yep. Seeing players like that and their career coming to a close. And, some of these kids may or may not get a chance to play college basketball. And so this may be it for them.
For the 3 games, he's averaged a little less than 20 points a game.
Yeah.
So he's had a great tournament.
Tremendous tournament as Covington makes both. He's got 22 and it's 63-45. I'll get 3 is no good by Joseph Kantz.
That's going to go on Sterling Brown. I think that'll be his 4th.
Yep, that's 4.
That's 4th on Brown, yeah.
So Brown's got 4, Fallender 4, Richardson 4, and for Fishers, Eaton's got 4. Dawson sinks it. 15 points for Lance Dawson. Just last night and tonight alone, that's 44 points. 45 make it.
If that's on Eaton, that's going to be his. Yep, that'll be his 5th for Zach Eaton.
And that'll do it for Zach Eaton's high school basketball career as well. He gets a hug from Lance Dawson. Andre Small replaced him, and the Fishers faithful come to their feet. Carmel fans as well applauding that. And now we see number 4, Wes Middleton, off the Carmel bench to replace Fallender. 25, Sam Oliphant, already in the ball game. Sterling Brown sinks that. He's 5 out of 5 at the foul line.
I'll tell you guys, coming down the stretch in all these games, Carmel don't miss free throws at the end of the ball game. They just...
Nope, that's 15 of 16 in this quarter alone from the foul line. 65-47, up to 18 points. The lead. Dawson a 3. No. Richardson the board. To Middleton, now Brown back to Middleton. Covington gets it across the half-court line. We're going to see 33, John Michael Malloy. I believe 6'9" freshman.
I saw him play JV.
Yeah.
In fact, at the end of the season, they have a very good junior varsity team with a lot of young freshmen on it.
Ethan Merriweather, number 23, who the past couple years has seen a lot of varsity action, and this year
I've seen very little.
It's kind of diminished. Number 2, Nicholas Michael checks in the ball game. And first free throw there by Covington, no good. As he had a string of 4 in a row he had made. Long 3 by Michael, no. Covington the board. Minute 6. Hetty will call a timeout to get Jenkins back in. And that's just a substitution timeout. So Oliphant, Middleton, Merriweather, Malloy, and Jenkins for Carmel. Also in there for Fishers is number 21, Jeremy Scolaghi. I'm hopefully not pronouncing that wrong. Middleton at the line for Carmel. Free throw off the back of the iron and no.
He's a 6-foot senior for the Greyhounds.
And no wonder the Carmel student body was chanting pretty hard for him when he got in there. Get the seniors in the ball game. One more to come from Middleton. 45.4 until this one is over. Middleton sinks it. Gets himself in the scorebook, 67-47. Michael in the corner, Scolaggi. No, rebound to Jenkins. Another foul looks like on Michael, maybe.
The intensity has not let up here.
No. 2 quick fouls on Nicholas Michael. With
Jenkins. He's a sophomore, 6-foot sophomore.
Jenkins misses. Michael the rebound. 25 seconds. A long three. No. Jenkins gets the board here. That is 32 Connor Washburn. 67-49, and that looks like this will be the final. And there's the final buzzer. Carmel 67, Fishers 49. Carmel advancing on to the Logansport Regional next week to play what looks like it might be McCutcheon. We'll get that finalized. We'll take a break for a few moments, get the stats, and come right back and wrap this one up for you right here on Hometown Television.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
She was very little. Taylor loved to play basketball.
My dream was to play basketball in college.
That day, she was having a great game. Then she landed after a rebound. When I saw her, I just felt sick.
I knew right away that I had torn my ACL.
A teammate recommended Shelbourne Knee Center.
Their doctors and physical therapists have taken care of thousands of knees like mine. My dream came true. I'm going to be playing basketball at Huntington University.
Shelbourne Knee Center, now part of Community Health Network.
Well, welcome back for the post-game show. I want to thank our sponsors before we get out of here tonight and for this sectional. Appreciate everyone, all the sponsors and all the viewers tonight. Want to thank Community Health, Church Hiddle and Anthem, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophy, Mark Hairbrandt, Commissioner. Don't forget the boat on May 3rd, Wolfie's Grill, and Peterson Architecture. Take over, Craig.
67-49, the final. Carmel defeats Fishers for the Class 4A Sectional 8 title. Quickly go through the numbers. Cameron Walters, 17. Lance Dawson, 16. 6 points for Reed Stevens, 4 for Zach Eaton, the highlighted scorings. 23 for Garrett Covington, 15 out of Sterling Brown, 11 from Trenton Richardson. 10 rebounds also for Garrett Covington to lead the way for a double-double as Carmel claims yet another basketball sectional championship, and they will advance on to the Logansport Regional next week.
Well, you know, guys, I don't think this is any big surprise. We talked about it in the pregame and saying, you know, Fishers was definitely the underdog in this game. They came out, they played hard. You can't take anything away from them. But the other thing we talked about was if Carmel can get a lead, it's going to be very, very, very hard to recover on the part of the Fishers Tigers. And we saw what happened in the second quarter when the halftime score ended up being 31-14, a 17-point lead. and the final difference here is 18 points. So, we're within 1 point of what we were at halftime. And as we talked about, in the pregame, this is that doesn't surprise us at all. Both teams, they kept fighting and kept scrapping right up until the end. Both of these schools ought to be very proud of what their teams did tonight.
You got it, and we'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Here at Noblesville for the Class 4A Sectional 8 tournament. 6 great games, to say the least. We only had one that was kind of a blowout of proportions when Southeastern won by 26. But other than that, we had some tight ball games before this one got carried away with fouls and whatnot. And otherwise, a great tournament, fellas. And
well, this is what Indiana high school basketball is all about.
Hey, one last thing here. Carmel will play McCutcheon next week at Logansport. And for us here at Hamilton County, a hometown network, Hamilton County TV, we're on to softball and baseball. So it won't be long, guys.
Does that mean the warm weather's coming?
I hope so. That groundhog was right. Was it February 2nd? He said, he didn't see a shadow, so 6 more weeks of winter, so to speak, and looks like warm weather's coming this week.
You think if it gets warm enough, Jim Wofford will ever shave his beard?
No.
Nope. He trims it. You can see he trimmed it, but won't shave it. We'd like to thank everyone for your great viewership all season long. Girls and boys basketball, can't thank you enough, and all of our great sponsors that made things possible. And we will see you come baseball and softball season here in Hamilton County. Once again, we'd like to congratulate the Carmel Greyhounds on winning the Class 4A Sectional 8 championship by the count of 67-49 over Fishers. For Dave and Will on the cameras, our producer Jim Wofford and Perry Williams and Brad Silbert, as well as a huge thanks to Danny Hubbard for all his stats and his help with numbers. You got it. And as well as Athletic Director Michael Hash, Assistant AD Tony Euler, and his whole support staff for a great week here at Noblesville and all their hospitality. And for Perry Williams and Brad Silbert, my name is Craig Atkins, and we will see you next time on Hometown Television.